Hi, Ray Hayden here, and today is 16 September 2017. It is after 8 o'clock p.m. in Southeast Florida. Today, my video is going to be about the timely news story of storms in the Atlantic. Currently, we still have Hurricane Jose spinning around out there, and he's a problem for us, even though directly he's not going to pretty much hit Florida. Let's talk about that. Today, Tropical Storm Lee and Tropical Storm Maria were born. Happy birthday to you, little Dickens. Here's the problem. First off is the initial predictions that I saw on Lee had been that he was expected to kind of become a weaker storm. Still is, by the way, as of 5 o'clock today, but I don't know what the 8 o'clock is going to show. I didn't see it yet. But he was expected to rain himself down and rain out and become a problem to nobody anywhere. I don't believe that because he's still too far south in the Atlantic. And I also don't see him being able to move north. If he could move north, he'd become involved with cooler temperature waters, drier air, and maybe be able to rain himself out and not be a problem to anybody anywhere. But because I see the patterns really pushing Lee south and Tropical Storm Lee not being really able to get out of town that way, that the potential for Lee to strengthen into a more powerful storm exists for the next couple of days. So I don't really buy the rain out theory. I hope it happens, but I'm not really buying into that, not yet. Tropical Storm Maria is an imminent threat to Florida. Here's the problem. Hurricane Jose is out there in the Atlantic. Maria can't move north because Jose's kind of pole sitting there and not moving. Hurricane Jose is not getting out of the way fast enough for Maria to be able to come up and make a turn and get out of town the way they kind of normally do over the grand scheme of things. So unfortunately, I think that we have a 1 week notice, an advance warning for a week in South Florida that Maria is coming for a visit. She's probably going to be at least a Category 1. She might possibly be able to strengthen up to stronger than that. I'm going to hold my bets off on that, but I'm pretty sure that Maria is going to be a Category 1 hurricane, and she's coming straight for South Florida, and she's probably going to nail us. Here's the deal. If you Google Hurricane Wilma 2005, look at the images, that's what a Category 1 hurricane can do. The problem is Hurricane Wilma zipped across Florida, did all that damage, and left. So it happened pretty quickly and pretty dramatically. In Hurricane Maria, when she gets here, I don't see her zipping out of town anytime fast because of the direction she's coming. She's not coming along with the winds that are blowing from the Gulf of Mexico out to the Atlantic, across the state of Florida. She's coming in the side, like Irma did. So painfully, I think that this is going to be a Category 1 hurricane that's going to hit South Florida and kind of painfully linger here for a while. So we have a week. If you're in the Florida area, if you're in the South Florida area, these are some things that I would want you to know, and let me give you the caveat and the disclaimer up front. I don't know you. I don't know anybody else outside of my local community, and I don't know anybody in my community well enough to really give any rock solid advice other than you know yourself. You and your family know yourself. The people that are close to you need to be very, very aware of what your situation is, what your condition is, and you need to do two things. You need to protect yourself. If you can't protect yourself, you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. So take care of yourself first. If you have special needs, special medical requirements, anything that's going to put you in harm's way, you should evacuate. You should get out of town. Get further north, get into a further protected position off of the coastline. Whatever it is you need to do to protect yourself, do it. Get out of town. Evacuate. If I'm not trying to scare anybody, I'm just saying if you need medical, things after the fact, we saw what happened on the news. If you don't have air conditioning and you're in a bad situation, you may not live. Okay, so if your life is going to be in danger, don't be a danger to yourself and don't be a danger to other people, because 1 or 2 or 3 people are going to have to take care of you. That takes them away from being able to take care of somebody else, maybe who was perfectly fine but got injured during or after the storm. So don't be a danger to yourself and don't be a burden to others. Evacuate, get yourself safe, be in a safe place, everybody knows where you're at and everything's safe and well, okay? Do that. Be well, take care, okay? Take care of yourself and your health issues, if you have any. If you're somebody who's in an area that's like you live in a mobile home, you live in a property that had damage from Hurricane Irma, you know that you have issues, you need to either evacuate into a better location locally, or you need to also get out of town. You need to button down your house the best you can. You got a week's notice, do the best you can with what you got, but at some certain point, and you're gonna have to determine what that point is for yourself, you're gonna have to evacuate and get out of the area. I'm pretty positive that Hurricane Maria is gonna be a hurricane of a Category 1 strength. And you don't want to be here if you're not going to be able to take care of your family, yourself, or your belongings. Just do the best you can, lock everything down, button everything up, and do what you need to do to get the job done. Now I want to talk about people who are sheltering in place. I'm one of those. I'm far enough away from the ocean. I'm far enough away from any areas that might flood. So I shelter in place. We have the hurricane shutters and everything else. They just slide shut. We're nice and safe. We're buttoned up. We're tightened down. Everything's good to go. We have garages. Our vehicles are inside. Our stuff is inside. We don't have any dangers out there in the street. And we take care of the business that we need to take care of. If you have a supply kit, if you have hurricane supplies, if you have MREs, if you have sea rations, they even still make those with the little P51 can opener that you had to open your can with. If you have hurricane supplies that you need to replace, you need to get on replacing them fast, because at a certain point nobody's going to be delivering anything to South Florida because of this storm Maria coming our way. So make sure you replenish your supplies. The stores are all open in my area, in the Broward County area. A lot of stores are open. Get to your local stores, whatever, get the supplies you need. You probably don't want to load up on ice cream. All right, that's probably not a good idea for when the refrigerator goes off. But you want to make sure you get canned goods that you would eat hot or cold. Pull tops are great. Or if you don't have a can opener, get a can opener. Make sure you have one or two so you can get the job done if you need that. Make sure you get your water supplies in line. Make sure you rotate your stock. Don't let anything spoil. And make sure you take care of business. If you did load up your refrigerator and freezer, don't do it again. Don't do it anymore now. But I see on the news they say eat from your refrigerator, then eat from your freezer. I don't really buy that. The freezer is usually smaller than a refrigerator. Start eating from your freezer, then eat from your refrigerator. Get rid of the things that are going to spoil. Eat those on way up to the storm. Make sure that you have, if you still have perishables like bread or anything like that that's not refrigerated, then go ahead and after the storm, if the power goes out and everything, eat your perishable things first, then break into the canned goods and the survival goods that you would need from that point on. If you have any questions, comments, or you want to share any information with anybody below, do that in the comments below. But with that, South Florida, be prepared because another storm's coming our way. Her name's Maria, and I don't think she's going to be a good guest for us. So with that, until I catch you in the next video, take care, be safe, and be well.